So basically today, I need to have a very brief history of Warhammer so that I can kind of get Mint to understand the world. Quick Warhammer 40k lore dump. Is there a PowerPoint? I'm basically just going to write down things in my Google Doc for now before DK calls me. I'm going to explain this to somebody who has no idea about Warhammer. For anybody that doesn't know, I have a podcast with Mint. And with this explanation, I think it would be really, really fun if I explained every faction very quickly to her. So for example, the Tyranids, the Tau, the Necrons, pre-post flesh, humans plus Emperor. I'm not going to explain every single faction because there's too many, but I think it would be fun to kind of go into what everybody does and how they do stuff. Aeldari, do factions without timeline, then timeline. I think that's a good idea. I think that is a great idea. Factions without timeline for Mint. Then a very quick timeline. All right, let me see what the boys are up to. We're gonna get their help a bit. Hello.
You interrupt my balloon tower defense 6 like gameplay.
Okay, you child.
Oh Jesus.
Okay.
You play balloons?
Okay. I need the very quick timeline. So the Necrons went to sleep 65 million to 60 million years ago, right?
Correct.
So then, when at the beginning, when the Necrons were flesh, we only know of the Necrons being there, right? Do we know of anybody else?
There was most likely all kinds of other alien races
We
that just kind of
don't know about.
They were just like there, but
Yeah.
they don't matter as they probably died in the big war.
Okay, perfect. How many million years ago should I be like, oh, the Necrons had their like cancerous flesh? When I start.
60 million tends to be the right guess.
But then they went to sleep 60 million years ago.
Yeah, but it's like the
Estimates.
You have 60 million years ago, and then you have before 60 million years ago. There's not really like a time for that.
Okay, so before 60 million years ago, Necron flesh, then they got betrayed. I can talk to her a little bit about that. The war in heaven was basically just after they got betrayed by the Catan. They then went to war with the gods, and they really did a number on them, which is why the Aeldari and the Quirks got created to protect the gods. After the fight, the Necrons got heavily wounded, and they were like, y'all, we out. We could just sleep this through.
Didn't they initially go to war with the old ones, and then the Necron were like, whoops, we can't beat you, and then they kind of got like segregated, and they got isolated a little bit, and then they needed
the Stan. I thought they went to war against the Stan.
No, the Catan are the ones that like
you, DK.
they like helped them, and they were like,
Okay.
oh hey little guys, we'll bolster you up, and we'll give you a little, and that's how they beat the old ones, right?
So Necrons living, they have uber cancer.
Yeah.
There's there's the old ones, and the old ones are like a race of god-like aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, old ones, please cure our cancer. And the old ones were like, no. And so then they were like, okay, I'm going to kill all of you, and we're going to go to war. And then they lost horribly.
Okay, so then the Necrons basically allied themselves with the Catan in order to have a chance.
So Catan are like, what's up, bros? We can cure your cancer.
And we
Okay,
also
yeah.
want to kill the old ones.
And then they trick them into curing their cancer by turning them all into robotic slaves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really ally themselves with the Catan. They become slaves of the Catan, and then they fight the old ones.
I know they killed, I think, one god, right? Or two gods, but the war is inconclusive.
With the old ones?
Uh-huh.
No,
Oh, no, they
hunt them
super
to
went against the
extinction.
old-
They
they extinct
genocide the shit out of them. I'm gonna go get my Mexican food. Give me a second.
Go,
DK,
go.
take over. Don't
DK, I
make
like.
me look bad.
Oh wow.
And then the Quirks and the Aeldari are created by old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after this war, the Necrons go to sleep because they predict the rise of the Aeldari and the fall of the Aeldari. So they're like, hey, we're not organic anymore. We can just we can go to the big bench, right? We can go to the big bench.
Yeah, I kind of thought that like after the war in heaven, the Necrons were kind of like, ooh, we're a little depleted.
Yeah, a little.
Eldar are kind of on the rise.
Yep.
Let's just wait them out. You know,
Yeah,
we can go. We're immortal. We can go to sleep for
Uh-huh.
60 billion years.
Yeah.
When we wake up, they're gone.
Yep.
We take our shit back.
And we can just conquer whoever is coming.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on?
All right, so we are currently at Necron Sleep, predicted rise and fall of the Aeldari. Aeldari is rising.
It'd be good not to miss the part where the Necrons then turn on the Catan and shatter them into shards.
Necrons turn on Catan for betraying them. Hee
And
Necrons
turn
sleep,
them into
ridiculous of
batteries.
all. Necrons weak now and eepy. Okay. Rise of the Aeldari. So the Aeldari were basically the big bad boys up until Slaanesh birthed in 25 to 29K, right?
Yes.
This is where I get a little confused with some of the human stuff. So 15K was like Dark Age of Technology, right? What did the Dark Age of Technology entail?
So
Bricky.
That's like
And now
humans
Bricky.
at
Start-
super peak.
Start
Like they're
with-
like their
start
tech
with
is
DK.
like super good,
How
and that's
would
where they
we-
make the Men of Iron.
What would you call the humans at that point if they weren't the Imperium of Man because they weren't united?
What would you call them? Just
Just
humans?
Okay.
Just humans?
Humanity.
Humanity?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, 25K is right around where the birth of Slaanesh begins. I know I'm mispronouncing Slaanesh. Birth of Slaanesh begins. They lose the warp again because
So-
she's being birthed, and it only comes back after she's being birthed.
So that's something I occasionally get wrong, but I've been corrected by Luton. Once Slaanesh is birthed,
Yeah.
it's almost like popping a bubble.
Yeah.
And so the warp storms all stop being a bad thing,
mhm,
and
mhm.
then things get better.
I thought that while she's being birthed, that the Aeldari is being killed by Slaanesh. But then others have told me, no. It's only at 29K when Slaanesh is back that the Aeldari start being killed. But the whole point is they are being killed in order to birth Slaanesh.
Doesn't Slaanesh get birthed because they're all being like weird and they've kind of like stagnated and
they're
like
killing each
over
other.
accessing
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
and yeah.
Wait, are you referring to what Slaanesh does when they get birthed?
Because once they get birthed, they basically have a claim on every Aeldari soul. And they start going crazy.
When they birth, at the
Yeah.
moment of Slaanesh's birth,
Uh-huh.
she eats like
Hey.
trillions of them.
Yeah.
Kills like 90% of their population instantaneously.
It's like a big old vacuum suck.
Yeah, they just
souls.
go away instantly.
Perfect.
Yeah. go.
But
It's like the only ones that survive are like the craft world Eldar
Yeah,
that were
that,
just
like-
like, yeah, this is
what?
getting a little spicy. Let's
yeah,
get out
we're
of here.
leaving.
Yeah, let's dip.
Then the question is, Slaanesh took like 4,000 years to get birthed. It wasn't like an instant.
Oh yeah, it took a lot of excess to birth Slaanesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jumping a little bit. The warp was lost again at 34K, which is when the Tau were isolated. The Tau was isolated, and that's when they went from like cavemen to super space advanced race. Or did I get this wrong and it's somewhere earlier?
The Tower, I think an under 10,000 year old race. They're they're not that long. I think they're
Relatively
like
recent.
9 to 6K old. They're not super old. The idea is that they're the young upstarts. The point being is they kind of looked at them, and then the warp
Okay.
storm happened, and then
I'll just
thousands
put-
of years later, they're like, oh my god.
I'll just put
What have you
roughly
become?
35K. So 29K Imperium and Man Unification Wars, which is when Big E. When does Big E pop up exactly? 29K or earlier?
He pops up after the warp storm, after the birth of Slaanesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about
wait,
29K.
That sounds about. I mean, the idea
Perfect.
is that the Emperor has been there forever,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
when
yeah.
he
When
shows
he shows
himself.
up. Perfect.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, that's when from now on it's going to be Imperium of Man, Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy is like 30K or 31K. It's like a little
30K.
after 30K.
30.
Perfect. What would be interesting things to tell a complete noob that happens between 30K to 30? Because basically, then I'm mentioning, the Tau, which I want to mention them later. Early Tyranid scouts, even though Tyranids are probably a little bit everywhere for a while. Around 40K, the Tyranids pop up.
Age of Strife. Sorry, I meant Age of Apostasy. My bad.
Okay, where is
Age of
Age of
Apostasy.
Apostasy?
36, 35. 1 second.
And what is an apostasy?
This is the Goj Vandire guy who made the Sisters of
Yeah.
Battle and took power.
Ooh, okay.
They made
okay.
shit really
Apostasy
bad.
is like, isn't that like religious?
Apostles? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go
Something
like
that.
too in depth about Imperium of Man because I feel like it's nice if I just give her a little bit of like everything. But I like this. Somebody wrote Big Evil Pope.
Yeah.
Big Evil
I mean,
if you
Pope
want,
comes
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
If you want Sisters of Battle, this is Sisters of Battle.
Yeah, that's fine. Sisters of Battle, which I know about that a little
He
bit.
is
I
the
think.
big evil pope.
Yeah, Big Evil
He
Pope.
is though, yeah.
He is the big evil pope.
36, not 35.
Oh, 36. Could we put early Tyranid scouts at 35K? Because they were starting to like form gene stealer cults and stuff like that, or a little bit earlier.
It doesn't really matter. The Tyranids are like a relatively recent threat. It's just
Yeah.
They're around.
Okay.
You can just say Tyranids are starting to pop up. It's like a fine enough thing.
Starting
Yeah.
to pop up. Basically, same thing. No man can bear arms, so the women are bearing arms. Yippee.
Girls can
smart little
commit
guy.
war crimes too.
Yay!
Hell yeah. I want a noob to look at this and be like, oh, y'all are F. I want Min to understand how F we are. So the Tyranids are here. The Necrons are awakening. Humanity is kind of not having a good time between each other either.
Nope,
Do we
there
want
is
to
chaos.
do 13th Black Crusade, maybe? It's pretty big.
Ooh, yep, that's
okay,
a big one.
Okay. Can you TLDR
That's-
that for me?
40k, Kadia blows up.
Oh,
Abaddon.
Kadia. Okay, yeah.
Abaddon yeets Blackstone
Okay,
Fortress
wait. I
into
thought
Kadia.
Kadia fell during Horus heresy.
No, that was.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
Currently, the galaxy is split in half, so it's a pretty big deal. It was a dub,
Kadia.
though.
It was a
a
huge
It
dub.
It was a dub.
The only
Okay.
dub he needed.
Kadia held for 10k years. That's why people keep saying Kadia stands. I thought Kadia blew up
Mhm.
like a few thousand years after Horus Heresy started. Very quickly, why do you say the galaxy divided in two?
Because it literally
'Cause it
did. There's
literally
literally a
did.
giant tear in the middle of the galaxy. That's the Cicatrix Maledictum, and it's just all the.
The big hole in the center of the galaxy is good because that's just where we are now. So it's just a good event to be like, this is why we're all effed.
Yay! Okay, what else could I describe to kind of show her how effed up we are? So when the Imperium of Man got united, right, 29k, Horus Heresy starts, when did the Chaos Marines get corrupted? Right at 30k?
Horus
Was it like
Heresy.
an instant,
Yeah, it's the
it was
Horus
an instant
Heresy thing.
split into sides? 9
So-
and 9?
Horus Heresy starts off as like a more typical coup,
Mhm.
but then with some time and some bad decisions, then they become more chaosy. Like Thousand
Okay.
Sons and Death Guard go there almost immediately, but like
Okay. Some
the
of them take a
slow-
little while longer.
the slow degradation of like the world eaters, for example, takes a little longer.
Okay.
And
I guess I'll tell her about that, like Big E's personal guard of 20. I feel like that's gonna confuse her a lot because that confused me at the start. Because the
half of his sons
Primarchs,
betrayed him. Bam.
Yeah, just do that.
yeah, okay. Emperor
This is pretty important.
has a personal guard of 20 sons, bio-related. Each
know.
have a legion superior army. 2 are wiped. 9 defect to chaos. 9 stay loyal.
I'm sorry. These people did not defect. They were betrayed by the
But-
Emperor's hubris. Thank you very much.
I kind of like the idea of keeping defect. What do y'all think, everybody?
no, you're right. I'm
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
defective.
I'm just
So
being
they-
He's
chaos
being very
filled.
chaos filled. Yeah, I was gonna say like death to the false emperor.
Good
Let's
boy.
go.
Chaos is good. When do we get to Mars and get to the Cult Mechanicus? That must have been during the Dark Age of Tech, right?
It happened after that. It was during the Age
Yeah,
of
after.
Strife.
That
Age of
was
Strife,
that's a
25K?
Big E moment.
I think this looks fine for just like I said. I only need to give her a little bit of a timeline. And the main timeline is like a lot of shit happened 60 million years later. Hey, we're here now. For everything that I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about Necrons, Kroorks, Aeldari. I'm talking about Slaanesh with the Aeldari. I guess the Chaos Gods are also really important to cover. Because basically, I want Min to understand that like, oh, you think the world is bad enough that there's like, you know, the Tyranids coming in and the Necrons coming in and everything. But wait, did you
There's
know
more.
there's also a bunch of these gods that are just effing with everybody, just for funsies.
Yep, just for funsies because
Just
they gotta
for
eat too.
funsies. Yeah, because they need
Chaos
sustenance.
gods gotta eat too. Yep. And humans
Man,
are
I'm hungry.
super susceptible.
No, Leagues of Votann. How could I forget?
Okay, Leagues of
Oh,
Votann.
yeah,
Space
those,
dwarves.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually know very
The
little
squats
about
came
them.
back.
Can y'all explain them to me?
Technologically advanced space dwarfs in a
Uh,
nutshell.
I don't think I've seen a lot of them.
They're very new.
They're super new.
Like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably why you haven't seen any of
Okay.
them.
Super new.
Okay.
Super
has
new
she
for
played
us
Deep
to
Rock
know
Galactic?
about. I am. I'm playing Deep Rock Galactic this week.
Okay.
With my
there you
content
go.
wipe.
Literally them.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
it's like corporate dwarves. It's literally
Corpo
that.
Dwarves. Oh, I actually played that with Mint before. So Corpo Dwarves, think DRG. Perfect. But they are, just so we're clear, they are very, very old, but they, are new to us. For the Tau, got caught in a local warp storm, isolating them from everyone. During this time, huge technological advancements. They look like Gundams. If you like Gundams,
Their machines look like Gundams.
if you like yeah, they're machines. They're machines.
The Tau look like blue fish people.
They're
with hoops.
machines. If you like Gundams, you will love Tau. They allow others to join them. They will castrate them, but humans can join them.
Sure. Yeah,
But-
anybody can join the Tau. They kind of want that because they're for the greater good. But
Anybody
it's
can
more like
join
a
Tau.
pseudo brainwashing, right?
Yeah, they don't really castrate them. It's not.
Yeah,
really
it's not a
bad.
castration. It's just
What
they
is it?
brainwash you and you kind of.
It's like, hey, you're gonna join the greater good, right? Because you want to do that, right? And if you're like, nah, they're like, well, that means you're
Die.
enemy of the greater good. Die.
Ah,
It's basically the Covenant in Halo.
Hey, Halo mentioned. Let's go.
let's go.
Probably good to talk about why humans hate AI so much, I guess, right? Because that's like huge for like the Imperium, right?
Yeah, maybe the fact
Like
that
the Men of
humans don't-
Iron.
They
Okay,
don't
let me-
have AI. They just put people's like prisoners' brains inside of computers
Yeah,
instead.
okay. Um,
Servitor creation is really gross.
It's really
It's
gross.
dude.
really gross.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I
People are
love.
like, oh yeah, Demon Collab is so gross. I'm like, but have you seen how servitors get made?
I love
Have you seen?
that they retcon the little babies, right? I forgot the name of it, but you see it a lot in Sister of Battle imagery, where it's just like
Oh,
the
the
little
cherubs?
yeah, the cherubs. Where initially it was actually babies, but then they're like, no, they weren't babies. They were just
They're-
created in a vat.
They were made that way. They weren't
cloned.
actual children. We
Yeah,
cloned
yeah,
them.
yeah.
We made them in a
Mhm.
vat. Don't worry, guys.
All right, so
Yeah,
why
they
do
got a little too
humans
grimdark?
hate AI?
So, like in the Dark Age of Tech, they made Men of Iron, which were basically like completely AI, like robots.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, I don't remember the specific reason. I don't know if they just went crazy or they just malfunctioned, but the Men of
basically, they
Iron
rose up.
completely rebelled against the humans and started going buku crazy. After they quelled the Men of Iron, they were like, yeah, this AI stuff? Nah, no more AI. Ban it. All of it. No more AI. So now they put little human brains in like everything.
Yep.
Like if you look at like even a door, you know how like the doorknob
I've
has
seen
a
it.
skull on it?
Mhm, mhm.
That's a human brain in there that opens the door. His whole purpose now, opening doors.
Now, there is something that we do need to remember, that whenever they talk about cogitators,
Yep.
that's like just a computer.
Mhm.
Not every computer has a servitor in it, but anything that acts as if it has to have like an AI has a servitor in it.
Yeah.
Oh. So
There's
even their
there's
computers
no
have brains
reason
in it.
for why
Ah.
the AI revolted. We don't know why.
Yeah, we
It's-
don't know. It's just
We just
mhm.
don't know.
I mean, it makes sense,
could
right?
Could be a million reasons.
Yeah.
Skynet, Terminators, who knows?
When do we first hear about humans kind of doing stuff? When
Dark
do we
Age.
first kind of Dark Age? So
Yeah.
15K.
Yeah, Dark Age. Because as far as we know, humans lived like we do right now in the 21st century, and
Yeah.
everything's normal.
And then Dark
And
Age, when
then-
they made the AI Men of Iron, that's when they really.
Yeah, like 15K to 25K is like, humanity is insane.
Oh
Like
they're
we
cracked.
are arguably the most overpowered like Eldar level place like ever. We are in absolutely ludicrous, and then everything went.
Yeah, they had some wild AI back then.
Yeah, there's that great story of the STC they find, and they're all like, "Oh God, an STC!" Just like turns off all the Marines' power armor instantaneously. It's like sucks to suck. I hate all of you, and then he leaves. It's great.
Yeah, and then like the admech or talking one, and the AI's like, you worship what? You guys know that doesn't exist, and you're all stupid, right? Here, watch me make you dance like puppets.
Yep. And then he like takes an Eldar ship and like folds it backwards in time, and so it implodes on itself, and then it just like disappears.
Yeah, because
I'm
it
like,
like
oh, okay.
occupies the same space, so it just implodes on itself.
That's why we don't deal with this anymore.
Question: the old ones, right? Where was the 3 Chaos Gods when the Necrons were doing the war?
Chilling.
Chilling.
just vibing in the warp.
So the Chaos Gods, we don't know where they came from. We're
Yeah.
assuming they were always there. It's one of those types of things where like it's a lot of speculation. There's not much canon.
Yeah.
Some people say the War in Heaven made the Chaos Gods because it was so goddamn horrible.
Yeah.
Some people say the Chaos Gods were always there, but
Yeah.
because of the War in Heaven, it made them like explode with power because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, they
so
had-
powerful.
It was like an all-you-can-eat buffet. For
Yeah.
them.
And that
Yeah,
they
we
basically
really
got
don't know.
stronger. Yeah. Okay. That is something I will mention, because then I think it would be good to mention that to her after the big War in Heaven. And okay, cool. know where they come from, don't know how long they've been around, but they're here. This is another one that's been confusing for me, and I need your guys' here. So there is obviously like the world and the galaxy, the everything. The warp, from what I understand, is another dimension.
It's not a different dimension. It's a different like reality, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the immaterium.
Yes, it's like imagine you have a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and underneath your piece of paper is another piece of paper about half the size, but it also is like hell. It's like parallel.
Yeah, but it is kind of like, but that's what I said. No, I said different dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like it's more like a reality.
Parallel reality, like
It's
hell.
a parallel reality with teeth.
Yeah.
With teeth. I like that. It is basically like hell though, because there is with teeth.
Yeah, it is super like hell. Yeah.
Because first of all, it has the souls of the departed, which is very
Yes.
hell-like.
Mhm.
Has souls of departed. Has the I don't know, the devils or the chaos gods. There's no other way to describe them than, if you were to compare them to something that we know, it's like they're the demons, they're the devils, they're Satan.
Yeah.
When humans or other races draw power from the warp, there is usually consequences. It can corrupt you, etc., etc. The more you talk, so again, it very much feels like a hell. It feels like you're getting
DK.
power and you're getting
What?
cursed.
Do I get to do my warp hole suck theory again?
Oh
Do
my
it.
god.
Suck it
Yeah,
up.
dude, do your goddamn
let's
warp
fucking
hole suck
go.
theory.
Okay, all right. Here's the warp hole suck theory. You ready, Mata?
Yes, I'm ready
Okay,
for the
all
suck.
right. All right. So
Don't say it like that.
you
Ready
are,
for the
You are
suck.
a pirate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yarg.
Yarg.
Sailing the seven
matey.
seas. The sea is the warp.
Uh-huh.
Now the sea can be benign and normal. It can be turbulent and thrashing and breaking at your sails.
Like a woman in love.
Yeah, sure. It can also fester dangerous, evil creatures like sharks and krakens and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So now, back in the day, it's assumed that the seas were a little bit calmer. But then, Yarg, it's
Yarg.
the pirate corn. And pirate corn started taking up a large amount of the seas, and so you don't really want to go over there. And then no, it's Yarg, Counselor Nurgle, and they have a big fleet too. And they're getting stronger also. Oh god, don't sail in that direction. Because then you're gonna get assailed. And then sometimes
Sailed.
Sailed.
Sails. Pirates.
so but like if you die and you fall in the water, like you're not always gonna go into pirate corn section. You might just go down to the water, It depends. Depends on how turbulent the waters are looking. But if you want to harvest the power of the seas,
I do.
you gotta get in that water.
Uh-huh.
You gotta
Now-
dive in head first.
Now this all depends on how good of a swimmer you are. If you're, I don't know, Magnus the Red, you're Michael goddamn Phelps. You'll swim from a continent to a continent. Who gives a shit? Nothing's gonna touch your ass.
No.
If you don't know how to swim, aka some random psyker on a random world, guess what? Pirate Nurgle's gonna blow out of your face and invade your world because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Where is the
Yep.
One Piece?
In a jar in Nurgle's garden with an elven god.
Bricky, I'm sorry. That was I made an anime reference. Go on.
You're going back in the
The One
jar,
Piece is
Mara.
real!
I'm putting your stand back in the jar.
No, please, not the jar, Bricky.
Oh.
Listen to her rattle,
Ew.
chat.
No. I
stuff.
gave him a
Uh-huh,
standee
sure.
of mine because I thought I'd be so nice, and now he puts me in the jar. I hate you so much.
But yes,
Yeah.
anyway, you utilize the warp for power. You open a little hole in that sea.
Yeah.
If you're really good at it,
Okay,
you open a
wait,
small
wait.
hole, and then creepy things can't get through. You're really bad at it. You open too big of a hole, bad things get through, and you get fucked up. So how good you are and how much of a hole you need, how powerful your suck is, how much water you utilize. That's all about how good you are at using the warp. That's the warp hole suck theory.
But it's a theory or it's true.
It's a metaphor to help describe the concept.
Okay. So if I write, you can utilize the warp for power to fast travel, but if you're bad at opening or closing it or navigating it, or shielding or navigating it or shielding your mind from it, you'll
suffer consequences.
Yeah, you could open up you could open up like a warp hole, and then demons will flow out of you, and everything will
also
just go to hell.
demons can come through and eat your world. Yay!
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 You know, the usual, the longer you stare into the abyss,
Yeah.
the more the abyss stares back, etc.
I really like then to kind of describe the warp as almost like, what is it? The Faustian contract or something like that. Like, deal with the devil, right? You're making a deal with the devil for power, and hey, anything can happen.
It's more like you're trying to sneak through the devil's house.
Oh, that's good.
Would it be important to describe what each god is about?
I think so. That was going to be the next thing. Nurgle, Mata's fave.
Wouldn't have taken you for a Nurgle fan.
I love them. Mata's second fave.
Is Khorne your third favorite?
No, I think Khorne and Slaanesh are kind of in this. I think I probably like Slaanesh more than Khorne because Slaanesh is more interesting. No offense to everybody.
Khorne is very boring.
Khorne is just
boring
the
until
guy.
you learn more about world eaters, and then Khorne is a lot cooler.
Also, because I've played a lot of Diablo and things like that, I think Khorne's aesthetic is the most kind of just red devil, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's just we're big red devils versus like Tzeentch has all the eyes, Nurgle has the rod, plus Nurgle looks the most like bugs.
I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but like the Chaos Gods also get power from like good vibes too. Like it doesn't have to be all like negative murder.
I
like,
thought it was
if you're
only
just like
bad.
If you're like having a chivalric war and it's like a noble war, like Khorne's still gonna get power from that.
it is emotions because in 40K everyone has a soul.
Yeah, so it's not just like nonsensical bloodlust that'll do it.
Yeah. So like honorable combat, duels, war in general, even if they're like fair wars.
Yeah. And it's kind of like with Nurgle, if you're like, oh man, I really hope this sickness gets cured, it's like that's a good vibe, but Nurgle's still gonna feed on that.
These can be positive emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they might as well be half and half, if I'm being truthfully honest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Honorable combat, duels, wars, any kind of physical
martial prowess.
Kind of physical martial prowess.
Yeah, like just being like a good duelist, like being top of your class, a champion.
Typical red devil looking guy with horns. Because then for Tzeentch, I'll say blue-purple colorings with loads of eyes.
Much
and
more
birds,
much more
feathers.
bird stuff.
Yeah.
If you
much
see
more Lovecraftian.
The trickster and deceiver.
He's like the god of change, and he's the god of hope in a lot of ways. So
really
like,
in hope. Oh yeah, I guess so.
Change for the good. Like there can always be change for the better. But if you're like a politician and you're like a schemer, you know, because he's all like tricksy. So if you're like a corrupt politician, like he loves that.
Monkey paw coated. Oh, I like that a lot. Monkey paw coated.
He's very the monkey paw curls.
So where does he gain his power? You said from change and hope and
trickery, greed, schemes.
Sorry, I just burped. I hope nobody heard that.
Heard the whole thing.
No.
But
knowledge, right?
Oh yeah, lots of knowledge and sorcery. We should definitely not forget that.
Because he's also the god of magic, no?
Yep. The arcane.
Arcane. This is also why, like most psychers, that's something I can tell her. So the psychers, they will tend to hear him a lot because they're already performing arcane arts. So he'll most likely be like, hey, I heard you was doing magic. You want to do some magic for me? Please?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the desire for change that is an essential part of all mortal life. Change for the good and for the bad.
Yeah, I mean, change is constant, right?
It's never-ending desire.
And
everybody hopes for something.
Hates magic.
Yeah.
He's not a big fan of Tzeentch.
He considers it cheating.
Nurgle, my fave little grandpa, my fave little guy.
I don't think Nurgle's a little guy.
He's a big little guy.
He's quite the opposite of a little guy.
He's a big boy.
Big little guy. Okay. So, Lord of, I want to say pestilence?
Decay.
And rot.
Despair.
Disease. But things must die. And fertilize the earth for more things to grow. He draws from people being sick, from people passing away from sickness. What is the positive that he draws? His acceptance of death, I guess?
I gotta believe, like, even doctors, like, curing disease would kind of fuel him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Acceptance. Prayer for safety.
Prayer for safety
Like,
and health. Mm-hmm.
If you have a sick child and you pray for their health, you're feeding Nurgle.
Yep.
Somebody said comfort. How do we feel about that?
I mean, comforting someone that's sick, sure. Nurturing them, yeah.
The acceptance of death.
Yeah, I wrote that.
And it is like, well, it's like a
The big one.
Yeah, well, it's like pain. The idea is like a lot of Nurgle people feel a lot less pain because they've kind of like moved on past that style.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Nurgle followers feel less pain.
Yeah, they like don't feel pain after a while because they've kind of just accepted what they are, right? Like it takes a while and they suffer a little bit and then they kind of like, oh yeah, I've kind of, yeah, they suffer a lot from like disease and rot. But then after like, I don't know how long it takes, they're just like, yeah, I'm at peace with this. Let's go screw some stuff up.
It's kind of like if you're sick and you're in like never-ending pain from your sickness, Nurgle will grant you a release from the pain. If you just, join his retinue.
Yeah, I like him. But I will add Slaanesh a little bit to the end. So I saw some people say it. I wanted to run it by y'all if this is true. People are saying that Slaanesh might be the most powerful god despite being the youngest because they draw their power from passion and excess and everything. And that's always happening.
They're the Lord of Unspeakable Excess.
Yeah.
That's their big
They
title.
might be?
Prince of Pleasure, actually, as well.
Wow.
not just
Prince of Pleasure is kind of sexy. Oh my God, stop.
Well, I mean, have you seen those Slaanesh minis? They are fit.
If we're gonna be really well actually about this, the sex part's actually like a super minor part of it.
Small part, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's also torture. There's also food. Like they can basically gain anything.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah. Every sin in the book.
Lust, greed, excess, pain, pleasure, perfection, and hedonism.
Why perfection?
Because it is the pursuit of perfection, is the pursuit of the lengths, excess, perfection, the extremes.
I will
probably
still
helped
write it.
that Slaanesh also got to eat like 30 billion elder souls.
30 was it 30 billion? I know they ate like a big percentage.
I'm not sure the exact number, but it was
90% of Aeldari as they birth it.
Yeah,
which
that's
gives them
that's a nice snack on birth.
Yeah. They're
die,
basically a trust fund baby, right? Where they like were born into power, right?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, sure.
Trust fund.
I like that.
Baby chaos god. Cool. Well, thank you for y'all's time. I think we got quite a bit.
Whoa, whatever.
No, DK, you were wonderful. It's always such a pleasure to spend time with you.
Yeah, actually, whatever.
What do I do with positive affirmation?
DK, you're a little head.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go play Balloon Tower Defense.
Have fun.
Goodbye.
Thanks
nerds.
again, Mata.
Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it.
You're so sweet.